Hey, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not. Comment down below. Let me know where you from and who you a fan of. Let's talk about this Adam22 no jumper breakup situation. So Adam responded. He already came out and said that, this is the most dramatic podcast in the world. Is going to have a dramatic breakup. And so it's no surprise for him. But he kind of already seemed like he knew that this was going to happen due to the fact that he already planned on replacing AD. He didn't like being challenged. The guests that he was bringing on the podcast were always questionable when it came down to, the last few of them that he had that made AD want to go and confront him about the situation on why he's bringing these type of guests on. And, Adam said he didn't want to have the podcast be political, but he's bringing on political people. So it's a two-faced, two-sided story. And with this whole thing, it's like everybody, went with AD's side. Like when he was getting removed and everything like that, Duno, T-Rail, all those guys, they went with him because they already knew that they was going to pick AD's side because they know the issues that Adam and No Jumper were already having with the whole crew. I mean, they were basically fantasizing the whole beefing with your coworkers and arguing and making it a toxic workplace. He's basically just kind of like, pointing the camera at him, making fun of them when he's having them arguing on screen and on live with everybody like that. So it's no surprise that, everybody left No Jumper because once one person makes that move and, they call everybody else and say, hey, are you with me? Are you going to stay? What are you going to do? Like, this is what happened to me. The same thing could happen to you. And so everybody except for Almighty and Flacco basically is gone. And so now Almighty and Flacco, they must have some sort of deal, some sort of contract where, they're more newer to the thing. So because the money's coming in and they were newer, they might have got a better cut than everybody else. Just like how, a lot of people where if you sign early to a rapper or something like that, and then the new person signs, once y'all popping and everything, the new person gonna get more money than what you were in the back old days, right? So that's what's going on with the situation on how they had the breakdown of the paycheck split up, and people were saying that Suspect and some so-and-so was getting more money than AD, and it should have never been like that, and they should have been grandfathered into it and everything. But now see, ADT Rally and all them dudes, they're gonna go and do their own podcast. They're gonna do their own show. They never really needed Adam, and they're gonna show that they didn't need Adam because at the end of the day, people was tuning in to listen to them. Adam barely came on the screen, and when he did, it was always arguments and things. And he was trying to make it to where if somebody called Adam out for doing something, saying something wrong or anything like that, then, AD was like telling Adam, oh, he's wrong for this, or he'll question him for this, and he'll be asking him, deep down where Adam not used to getting those questions asked to him. He's usually the one that's doing all the questions asking. He's the one that's getting to the bottom of things and asking the tough questions and bringing out the answers that, are going to be to where entertainment or controversial, right? And so, Adam got tired of having people check him like AD was doing. So he just decided that whenever anything happens in the podcast, he wants to be in control and have the power to basically control the narrative, say what he wants without having anybody check him for it. And he's just trying to have more power and control over it because he's like, it's my podcast. I want to say what I want. I want to do what I want. And so that's like where Adam stands at it. But you see, AD hasn't been afraid to speak out lately, and that's why he was checking him about the whole dude that he brought on. And a lot of other times, too, when Adam was doing some strange behavior, AD would always be like, so is this one of those, moments where you're doing this or you're plotting this? And so he was always like challenging him like that. And Adam didn't like that because it attacked his power and it made it seem like, oh, he's got to answer to his crew and his staff is keeping him. And it's like always a checks and balance system. But Adam want to be dictatorship of the No Jumper and make sure, oh, if anything bad about Adam gets said, that it can't air. But then when it comes to other people, he's willing to use that to the fullest extent to blow up and go viral off of somebody else's suffering, pain, or embarrassment, or story or dramatics. But when it comes to Adam, he wants to censor that. He don't want nobody to talk about what he did wrong. He just wants to flip the script and put it all on other people, what they did wrong, and using them as entertainment and everything instead of when he does something and people want to speak out on it and ask him a question right in his face, he wants to know we're not going to have that narrative, the narrative this, narrative that. So he keeps speaking on that. And he's telling the whole world that he doesn't want any bad things to ever be said about him, even if it's true. And so that's the thing. Like, if he did something bad and it's true, he doesn't want that being spoke about. For some reason, the accountability thing is what he has an issue with, because a lot of people have been saying over and over again that the number one thing that they've been noticing with Adam is that he always thinks he's in the right. He always thinks that he cannot do wrong and that everything he does is like to the most highest extent. But that's not true. It's just whatever benefits him the most is where his mind is going to be at. Whether that's the best thing to do in the situation or not, it doesn't really matter. It's what's going to benefit Adam is what he's thinking of always, like 100% on his mind. And so if it don't benefit him, then that's where he's like, oh, okay, I don't want this or that, right? And that's the situation. And you got to look at it like, okay, he doesn't want to have to own up to anything and say that he was wrong or nothing. He's always arguing back and trying to find a point or be playing devil's advocate or whatever. So he literally never is going to sit back and accept that he did this and that he needs to change something or nothing. He's not a coachable person. He doesn't take constructive criticism well. And you can see it from all of the podcasts and this whole fallout within the last week where, they're trying to hold him accountable for certain things with the house phone situation. They're trying to hold him accountable for the Lush firing him on live situation. They're trying to hold him accountable for a couple other things that he was involved in that might have been something that he contributed to more or he made the situation worse. But he doesn't want to hear that. As soon as they start bringing that up, he's trying to find arguments and things to say to go against that and make it seem like he was just cool and it was another day for him and that everybody else around him was tripping, when the common denominator in all of these issues is that somebody else and Adam. The next thing you know is this person versus Adam. And so Adam is the most common thing. So if he's always getting into issues and it's all these different people and everybody's always trying to correct Adam's behavior and he don't want to listen, then basically he's the issue to where he's the antagonizer or he's part of the problem, but he doesn't want to understand that he's part of the problem. And so he keep deflecting and everything. And so, people do that where, they don't want to realize that, they're wrong. So they will keep doing everything they can and they don't want to see it. It's like delusional behavior to where you don't want to accept the truth of the reality. So you just keep denial and painting this other picture in convincing yourself in what's going on. And it seemed like that might be the case in Adam, because when he comes back with the replies saying, no, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't see anything wrong with that. He's painting a picture in his head that he's doing everything perfect in his world. And so he doesn't understand why people keep coming at him and trying to say, hey, Adam, you kind of messed up here, or you did this wrong to me, or you need to apologize, or you need to take accountability or own up for this and that. He doesn't understand that because he doesn't see that he could do no wrong. And so if he's already got that made up in his mind, that's hard to change that person's mind. And so that's why a lot of people are like, you know what, we just gonna go. We just gonna leave, because you can't change his mind. There's no fixing this problem. It's gone too far. It's, this is the work. This is their livelihood. So they got to hurry up and pretty much figure out what they're going to do now to put food on the family's tables and everything and put a roof over their head and all that. So with all this being said, man, there's going to be a lot more details that come out about the no jumper Adam22 situation. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, comment down below. Let me know where y'all from and who you a fan of. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace.